Welcome to DJNTV and Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. Now introducing the one and only Ben Stowe.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. The fastest hour of your life will be happening tonight, right here, on Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. But first, Ben, there's an extra person in here with us. Did we give him the passcode, or did teach him the official handshake, or what?
Man,
What happened?
people are hacking Zoom all the time, you know. You start punching in random meeting numbers and what a weird coincidence that he's wearing an NLFX shirt too. But anyway, so
And it's the official, the Northern Minnesota shirt right there.
yeah, I
It
feel a little
is,
slummy
100%.
today, but anyway, yeah. So I've actually talked about this guy a few times on the show, and I feel like he needs no introduction, but I guess he does. This is the legendary Kyle Dietrich.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it to be on the esteemed Tuesday Nights with Ben Stowe. So thank you so much for my maiden voyage. And I been a long time listener, first time caller. So I'm
There you go.
excited to see how it goes.
So Kyle, for those who are getting to see you for the first time that aren't at
Yeah.
trade shows, because you've been working the trade shows and such here for the last few,
Mhm.
kind of give us the little elevator speech of who Kyle is.
Ooh, that's a tough one. So Kyle Dietrich, I came to work with the legendary Ben Stowe and NLFX back in January. I came on as the new business development manager. I'm super excited about the role. In many ways, it's my dream job. I've been a working DJ. I was started in sixth grade. Started doing weddings. Kind of took it official in 2016 and been doing it ever since. And obviously, if you do DJ stuff, you know about Ben Stowe, and we became friends over the years. And an opportunity happened that we could come together, and we made it happen. And I couldn't be happier to be here. So
Excellent.
I think that's a great. I think that's a great introduction. And John, it's funny you asked the question because I was just going to kind of say something along those lines. Kind of give my own introduction. But Kyle said, "Long-time listener, first-time caller," and he was, he was being glib, but he is, and I think that's what I really like about Kyle is he has been a longtime member of the DJ community. He's been a longtime customer of NLFX. As he said, he and I have become friends. I think just because of the type of person he is, just the quality of human being that he is. I think for me that was really exciting. That here's somebody who truly walks the walk, who has been on the customer side of every transaction with NLFX and
yeah,
understands the expectations, understands the bar that we've tried to set, and also understands where the bar needs to be raised. He has seen all the weaknesses and the flaws in our system that need to be fixed as well, right? And I think that's just me being candid to say no system is a perfect system. And so Kyle came in and has been working very closely with Meg on user experience and with Kat in marketing. Of course, they're travel buddies now.
yeah,
Doing all these trade
yeah,
shows and things together. So I think
yeah.
that's what's really great is bringing somebody with all that real world experience using the products, but also being a customer of ours and understanding all of that to help try to make that a better experience for all of our customers. Because ultimately, that's why all of us come to work.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And that's kind of something that we talked about today. I'm out here in Atlantic City at the DJX show. It's been really awesome. Thank you guys so much for the ones who have showed up already and the ones who might still come out. We appreciate seeing all of you and all that sort of thing. And Ben kind of said it. We're NLFX is nothing without customers. So, we appreciate the loyalty and please, if you're out here, stop by. Even if it's just to say hi, please take the
Buy a
time.
case of
We
gaff tape
love to
because
see
you
you
guys
guys.
don't want to have to pack that back up, right? Cat
Hundred
sent me
percent,
a
yeah. By Gafton, yeah.
she sent
We
me a
got great
picture of the
show
rental
pricing
car.
on it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we got great show pricing on it. So come on out.
So for those of you who are tuning in to catch our talk about outdoor events with electricity and such, we will be getting to that topic. We just had the opportunity to catch Kyle tonight. Again, he's in Atlantic City,
Oh,
and he's going to kind of give
mhm.
us a little bit of what he's seeing out there and what's kind of a hot and exciting products that he's been hearing people talk about. So we wanted to
Yeah,
get that opportunity to talk to him, and then we will be getting into how to not basically give yourself a permanent perm with electricity when you're doing.
Oh
outdoor.
boy, I thought that show was next week, so we'll see what I can.
Yeah, you might need to go study. Actually, no.
I was gonna say, all right, I'll be back in a little. I'm gonna go.
Go grab that other slide deck. You know, they probably.
I got an old National Electric Code book here. Let me pull that up.
Just pull that up. Yeah, there's some great sock puppet artwork in there.
Oh, this is probably got some stuff on electrical safety too. Let me do some quick reading. I'll catch you guys after that.
Perfect.
So, Kyle, what have you been seeing? What have you been hearing around the floor? You guys have obviously repping some companies. Let's just go through everything that's exciting with the DJs out there.
There's too many words in here. I'm not going to read it.
There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. You know, just like in years past, there's a ton of dealers out here. There's a lot of product out here. We're seeing a lot of cool stuff from Chauvet. EV's got a big booth going on. RCF has a ton of new speakers that they launched this year. They got a lot of their stuff.
Guess what
coming
came into stock today, by the way?
White Evox 12s in stock in Bemidji.
Yes, limited stock, ready to ship right now, but not for long.
Let's do it. Absolutely. So very excited for those. So the Evox 12s they have in white. They have all sorts of their new NX line they have in white. They have the new the 808s and the 515s and the TT line. They got that in white now. They're showing all that stuff off here at the show. They're showing their 9,006 subs at the stage. They're a little incredible. So if you need some double 21s, let me know. We can get those ordered up for you.
Those things are
but no,
ridiculous.
there's some really great stuff. Yeah, they're really good. There's a couple new ones like it's exciting to see just because it means that there's more companies coming into the space, different things to do. There's a lot of good things from In Music and Pioneer's got a big booth and everything out here. So a lot of cool stuff going on out there.
So you mentioned
Kyle, where can they buy all these things?
Well,
there's a few of them that they can get from NLFX Pro. If you wanted to stop by, say hello. We'd love to.
I think most, right? So anyway, sorry,
yeah,
shameless.
Absolutely. Yeah, no.
I'm a big fan of eating, so people gotta.
Yeah.
The link for NLFX Pro, if you want to go to the website, and basically, if you are looking for something, there's a lot of different companies that are at the DJ Expo this year. Give them a call. That'll go to Bemidji. It won't be going out to AC, but they can get you taken care of. They can get you.
We can connect for sure. Kyle's phone in Atlantic City. Yeah.
We get you taken care of.
Just an important note: if you go to our website, you're not going to see the show pricing. We're not allowed to put that on our website. So please, you have to ask for it. But we can't put it on our website. So.
And we got some really good pricing on stuff. So
Storm mentions, of course, being excited for the white Evox 12s, and I think that was one of the things when they first started coming out with the white speakers. The DJ's been doing this forever. We've always had black speakers, and then there was that moment of gray, but they've always pretty much been black. And it's been like, this white thing. Who's gonna? This is.
Yeah.
I've been running white speakers for since they came out with the Evolve 50s in white. I don't know if I could go back as a wedding DJ. It's just
it's really hard.
Sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
No, I'm with John. I was an early adopter. As soon as the white Evolves came out, I was on board with those, and I just went to an all white setup. And like for weddings and stuff, it's such a classy look, I think, and it's hard for me to go back. If I do use black speakers, I'm kind of something looks a little weird. So, but. Yeah, it's a good look for me. I like it a lot. So,
yeah, I didn't expect I would like it as much as I did. I was kind of a give them a try. I was told by this product marketing guy down in Burnsville. He's like, just give them a try. They might grow on you.
Yeah, you might like it.
Sometimes that guy's pretty sharp. I'm just gonna say it out loud.
Yeah,
and so.
I don't think he's watching. You don't have to suck up to him.
I don't know, but it's true. That was literally the conversation.
I know. No, of course, he's a good friend. So
So Kyle, you mentioned speakers. Let's lights. I noticed something that I saw in an email from an NLFX Pro, which again you can go to the website and you can sign up for their email list. Chauvet had a couple of new ILS. Is it ILS?
It's the ILS system.
Yeah, I don't use the ILS. We're basically use Show Express, and we do DMX control with our stuff, and we really like that. But they had a new one that had a couple of moving heads on it, and it just had some floods. and it was the
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of
Big
it.
Bar Bridge.
Bridge. There we go.
Yeah, the bridge. Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that one, because now I don't really care. The viewers, you're just telling me about it because I'm interested in this
No.
light fixture.
Absolutely.
Talk amongst
So
yourselves,
it's-
viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kyle's going to sell John some lights.
I do. I get just one second. I get my quoting software up here real quick. But no, it's a really cool thing, and it's basically their response. So there was a lot of DJs out there who love the idea of the gig bar. The one thing, you set it up, you're done. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing to transport, all that kind of stuff. Well, the feedback they kept getting is, well, I don't want this, I want X. I don't want this, I want X. So it's basically kind of a build your own gig bar. So everything that they have on there, they have the moving heads as kind of the base, but then all the other spots you can fill in with what you want. If you're looking for the derby look, you can do that. If you want washes, you can do that. And the other nice thing is you can kind of pick the wattage that you want. You don't have to go with, hey, this is the one that we make for it. This is the one that works. They're going to have a whole system you can kind of build out. And again, it's a build your own light thing, and you can still do the ILS obviously, but if you want to do and just get it to run with Show Express or anything like that, fully DMX capable and all that too. So it's a really cool system. I like it a lot. I think it's a really cool way to go.
Very nice. I definitely have to check into that a little bit more than because I was looking for some videos or anything on it. I was on the website and it's like, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah. It's super new to all of us. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely want to check that out. Any other new products that you've seen in as you've been walking around and such that kind of caught your eye?
Yeah, so actually, one that it's from Joe Bunn. Actually, he has a new concept, new booth coming out. He's been working on it for a while. He said it's kind of his last stage prototype here at the show. He's just kind of gauging feedback on it. It's pretty cool. It's similar to what he has now, but it's a different look. It's a different way to do it. So again, always innovating, always trying something different, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool way to go. I really hope it works out because again, it looks really cool, and so some people can start, getting different looks if people are tired of the podium look or whatever. So, it's really nice to see that people are still out there innovating and still changing and still trying to make things better and all that kind of stuff. I think that's great for the industry as a whole. That everybody keeps making stuff better. Like people took the gig bar. Chauvet took the gig bar and just, hey, we can make it better by doing this.
I think Danny Max comes out with about 6 new products every day. I mean, that guy's innovating.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, his new one too. That one's a big hit. The smaller form factor that it has, that's a really big one too. Yeah, so definitely stop by and take a look at that one. But all really cool.
Yeah, DannyMax.com. You guys can pop out there and check out that. I think he introduced that one in Chicago, maybe. But there's a little bit of video out on the Danny Max one. But yeah, that smaller form factor. That one.
And the nice part is it fits that new Rain Performer. So
yeah,
and that's what he's got in at the show here. Again, it's a really cool thing, and it's very compact, very easy to move. So.
Yeah, pop over to the NLFX booth and talk to Kat and Kyle about accessories for those booths too. You guys have some in stock there, 100%. And of course custom panels, all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, kind of wish I was there. I mean, got to be honest, I'm mostly just missing the friends that I wanted to visit there. Lots of friends, and also kind of jonesing for a funnel cake. But so
trust me, every person that is there. So has Ben at the shows? I haven't seen Ben. So where is Ben just going to the bathroom? Everybody's wondering where Ben is.
Perpetually.
Perpetually using the restroom.
I wish I was. I obviously, of course, the concert that I just got done doing, and the shows that I'm doing are big arena shows, and also kind of helping our integration team. So unfortunately, it's one of the downsides of my job is you have to do what you have to do, not necessarily what you want to do. So
absolutely.
But honestly, the DJ's got a pretty big upgrade with you and Kat. So
Well, I don't know about side grade, but
Kat.
I got the beard. You got the Star Wars knowledge. Kat's an everlasting, obviously. So
yeah. She doesn't have a beard or Star Wars knowledge, so
she doesn't have either of those. But luckily she's very nice and very good at her job. So
that she is. Kyle, which companies then are you guys working with in Atlantic City this year then?
Yeah, so we're actually out there just representing NLFX, and also we're out there with Rock and Roller.
Okay.
So we got some great carts available for sale out there. We got really, really aggressive show pricing. So if you guys are out here and you're looking for a cart to haul all the way all the other gear that you bought, stop on over. We got the carts ready to go for you. Even for the very, very low cost of free 99, I will assemble it for you. So luckily, I've gotten very good at it. I had to put together about 7 or 8 of them today. And that's not including the ones that I built for the show for demos. So we got lots of them out here. So, and we got accessories too. We got the bags that go with them, the plates that go on top to have like a shelf and everything to work off of. So we got a lot of really cool stuff out here. So make sure to stop by our booth and take a look.
So which of the rock and roller carts, because I've got a few of them myself, but the models have changed over the years. But that's the cool thing about them, is that I have one that's probably 20 years old. I would get,
Yeah.
and it's still literally, we used it last weekend. What is probably the most popular size if people are looking for something that can get, compact enough to get in a vehicle, but yet give them enough to be able to haul? What would you recommend for size of those?
My personal favorite is the R12. I personally own 3 of them. I think it's the best. I think it's the best for size that it is, with the weight that it can carry and how easy it is to turn. It has big enough casters, and it will go off road too. It's got big enough casters and everything that it'll roll really well on about every surface. And it's not too big and it's not too small. You can fit a good load. You can fit 2 15-inch speakers with your DJ coffin, with a facade table, all that kind of stuff on one load, in and out, no problem. So R12 is my vote for that. I'm partial to the Stealth because I just like the all black look, which is odd considering I like the all white look for my speakers and my DJ setup. But
it does look
I like
cool.
the all look for the cart and everything. But yeah, that's my favorite. I don't know if Ben has a better suggestion than that, but that's my go-to.
That's kind of my go-to. It's the Goldilocks. So
Yeah.
Obviously, if you need bigger, they got the R16, the R18, even the R14. If you need smaller, there's the R8, the R10. But I think the 12 is just kind of. I mean, we like you, we own several that we have. We keep in some of our install vans, and we have a few that have been Frankenstein back together because they've seen unspeakable things.
Yes.
They're just hard to kill. So
For sure. Yeah, at the show here we have R2, R6s, R12s, and R18s for sale here. Obviously, we can get you prices on any of them if you want any of the other ones that I didn't mention, but those are the ones we have here in stock, ready to wheel out, as it were. So yeah, just stop by. And again, if you really got something big to move, the R18 is really good because it'll do 750 pounds. It's got some really beefy casters on it, so it's a really good one if you have something nice and heavy. But
that's a machine. That one I have on the other side, actually, is I have one of those also. And truthfully, I've never taken it outside of the shop here. It's used to haul furniture when I'm helping to move, things around the house. And then it stays in here and basically is what I use when I'm moving air conditioners, or if I'm going to move speakers all the way from the back to the front to load up, that kind of a thing. It's just such a big machine. It can haul a lot, but it's almost too big for my vehicles. And there it becomes why the 12 is so attractive.
Yeah, and
I have
of course, you guys have interest-free financing in the booth, so you can do that. And if they want to consolidate other items on the order that besides NLFX and rock and roll, I know you guys can help them with that. So really no reason to go see. Really no reason not to go see Cat and Kyle. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. We got lots of good stuff, and in the NLFX booth, we got lots of our new cable bags. So if you guys want to stop by and get some of those, again, we got some great deals on some of our tape. We actually brought cases of it this time, so you guys can. We have a special price if you buy by the case. So if you wanted to buy, 24 rolls of 2-inch, we got a great deal on those. Obviously, we have our Platinum Series cables. We even have some hybrid cables out here. We have BNC cables. We got the Everse 8 cables, so stop by if you need one of those.
USA manufacturing, yay!
100%. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people have, that hadn't heard of us before that stopped by the booth. When we talked about that USA manufacturing is like for our cables and stuff, they really, really like that. And we like to see that. So
yeah, excellent.
I watched them make those Everse cables. Well, I helped make some Everse cables even, but in preparation for the show, I think they pumped out a couple hundred cables of different varieties for you guys. So.
And when you're talking Everse cables,
it was really good. And
explain what Kyle, explain what those are for people who are like, Everse cables. What, doesn't it come with a plug into the wall cord?
Yeah, no, for sure. So the Everest cable has a 12-volt outlet, so you can power your wireless microphones with those. And so, if depending on what manufacturer you have, those are going to be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So your Shure, your EV, your Sennheisers, they all have a little bit different power plug, but we make a variation that'll fit any of them. So, then you can power whatever wireless speaker you have. If you, and also it'd be good if you got a tray to go on top, because then that'll just lock right in
And then you're good to go.
the whole thing. So it's a really cool little system that they have, and we were able to make the cables to make those all work to get anything powered that you needed to.
Nice.
So
excellent. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for explaining that. That way to make sure that
no,
folks
absolutely.
who might be thinking, it's like, what are they referring to? So,
hmm For sure.
well, Ben, I think we should let Kyle get back to the excitement of Atlantic City, and we should hit tonight's topic.
Yeah,
He's gonna go have a funnel cake for me, right?
Yeah.
absolutely. You got it, boss. I'm on it.
Take pictures.
Thank you so much,
So-
guys.
Yeah.
So Kyle also
For
told
sure.
me that apparently Kat has a special nickname for me on Snapchat, and I can only imagine it's probably not safe to be shared with the public. So you'll have to clue me in on that later. So
No, it just says super nice guy right across the top. That's what it
I
says.
doubt
in
it.
your-
I highly doubt it. No,
All right,
I mean,
I gotta
Kat-
get another call. I got another call. I gotta
All right, Kyle. Great
Thank you so
having
much,
on
guys.
tonight.
Hey, Kyle,
Thanks for being
thanks.
with us.
Appreciate you.
appreciate it.
Having been good friends and a coworker with Kat for over 20 years now, 21, I'm certain that's not what it says.
Yeah, it's
I know what hers says.
oh, fun. All right, Ben, let's jump into tonight's topic here, and we'll put a time. I'll put a time thing in the description of the video for those of you who are like, how are people ever going to find when it starts? Well, we'll take care of that.
Skip this part.
Yeah, exactly. So we're about 20 minutes in. So we heard that one of our viewers had brought up the idea. They had heard about a performer that ended up was electrocuted because they were gotten hugged and outdoors and wet and this thing, and they were still wired up, and things happen when we're doing outdoors that are unusual, and I really. They said, hey, can you guys talk a little bit about that? And I think it's probably time for us to do it because, like, in Minnesota, early season we do outdoor stuff. This time of the year we're indoors because it's usually nasty and hot and whatever. And then we get into fall and it's like we're outdoor every weekend once again. But in the fall it's usually outdoor and rainy. So it's a concern with water. How can we, when we're outdoors, let's kind of go through some things that will help protect people from becoming a statistic.
Well, I'll tell you, this is going to seem like such a simple topic because it's to me anyway, it's just common sense stuff, use cords that are in good repair, make sure you have the ground plugs on there and that you have equipment safety grounds in place and those sorts of things. Of course, using weather protected equipment is a good idea in areas that you expect it to get wet. For things like our downstage lighting truss and things that there's just really no practical way to, if it starts raining, we can't really fly that truss in and do much about it. And I realize most DJs don't fly trusses. I'm just giving an example of when something really can't get out of the weather, then it should be rated for the weather, right? I think I wish this was meaningful. I wish it meant something. A weather app. I was just, we just had a show not too many weeks ago with Scotty McCreery, and three of the guys from his crew and myself were all standing on the stage, each of us with a weather app open, and we're all looking at a different weather app, and all of them are showing nothing on the radar and 0% precip, and it is raining on us at that moment. So, I wish I could say weather apps were, even 50%, but I think they're better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna, be prepared. Moisture certainly is a potential problem. Water is certainly a potential problem. But there's so many other things too. Wind can blow speakers over and blow away tents, and that can be harmful not only to our gear, but it can also be harmful to people around the gear.
Right.
A speaker can tip on somebody, or tents can become basically flying shrapnel. So. Again, I think the first and simple things is just common sense. Just use good judgment when running cords and making sure they're in good repair and that they have they have all the parts to them right. And like I said, I wish it was some grandiose thing, but it really isn't, at least not to me, I guess,
Let's dig into a little bit about because we hear GFI. Let's dig into what that is and how that would be utilized in our outdoor situations.
Well, GFI or GFCI is a device that looks at how much current is coming in on the line and how much current is going out on the neutral, and it reasons that any difference in that must be going to the ground. And then it has a ground fault, which is what GFCI stands for, ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFI, ground fault interrupter. And there are different thresholds of GFIs, different milliamps, that sort of thing. But basically, at that point, it's going to say, we have a problem here, and we're going to interrupt the circuit. So most of your outlets outside are going to be GFI protected. Unfortunately, sometimes certain things like voltage meters on some power conditioners will cause GFIs to trip, and some things that it doesn't like. But for the most part, they're really good, and probably just about any outdoor circuit you're going to plug into is going to be a GFCI protected circuit anyway.
Mm-hmm. So would it be something that for extra precaution or extra security that we would add an additional GFCI to that, like a cord that had that capability, or is that just unnecessary?
Well, I don't think that you can be too careful, right? So you can certainly there are portable ones you can buy and you can use. I wouldn't argue against it, all right? But it's it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here, and I'm going to just sort of make this one up, but it's kind of like not flying a plane safely because you have a parachute. I think first and foremost, it's not a bad idea to have the parachute, right? And I'm saying that these safety devices are good things to have, but also just don't try to go into harm's way, right? I don't know the circumstance behind how that artist got electrocuted. I did see that it happened. I know that he hugged a wet fan. I don't know. To me, there's pieces that I just have to try to put together, and I haven't had time to research it. I've just been extraordinarily, busy, and I haven't had time to really dig into the cause. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more forthcoming with the investigation and that sort of thing. But there are so many ways we can get hurt, and electricity is only, really just one of them, and maybe not even the most likely, because, as I kind of pointed to the code book earlier, there are things in place, right? We had one of our technicians unfortunately have to be transported by ambulance just a few weeks ago because they tripped on a cord at the edge of a stage and went face first down off a 5-foot stage, and of course landed on their head and ended up with an injury to an arm and a broken knee, and and we're a very safety conscious company. We talk about it all the time. We actively train on it. And just a momentary lapse can lead to these things. So I think that if we were to talk about all the ways that we can be hurt at a show, and even if we just limit that to outdoors, there's a lot of different things. And it all really comes back down to, like I said, just what ought to be common sense. And of course, DJs, I think, have a greater potential risk exposure. Maybe we have, at most of the events, and of course I worked as a DJ for over 15 years and did something north of 1,000 events, just sort of quit counting once it hit a lot of zeros, but now, we have security at our events, and we have barricades, and we have these sorts of things in place, and DJs often don't have that. So you've got intoxicated people who are really not thinking about safety. They're thinking about fun, right? They're thinking about the experience that you're providing them, the moment. Of course, just a couple of weeks ago, I was a father of a bride myself, so I got to really, partake in that and just enjoy being a guest. And those are moments when you have to be, I think, extra vigilant, right? Mm-hmm. As the person who's doing it, where are your cables run? How are your stands placed? Are you, sort of being mindful about ways that we could put others at risk, and of course also ourselves at risk. So
you mentioned, of course, a little bit earlier talking when you're about the ground and such with the GFI. We've talked in past shows about ground lifting devices, and of course cheaters, which would be one of the little devices. And of course, there's times where people have broken off the ground plug on an extension cord. We've talked about that being a bad idea indoors. My idea is that would even be a more potential deadly situation outdoors.
Oh, absolutely. It's first of all, and people really don't like it when I say this. And I kind of would like to. I'd kind of like to call those people out. I think to say, if this offends you, I want you to stop and think about why. If this statement that I'm about to say bothers you, I want you to stop and be introspective and say, why am I so bothered by that statement? But first and foremost, this is just me stating fact. All right. And you can research the fact and I can verify the fact, but it is illegal to do that. It is a violation of National Electric Code. It's stated right in there. You can't do it, So when you do something that is deliberately illegal, to remove a ground plug off a cord, that, and in fact, it says right in the code book that noise is not or they call them objectionable currents, which they are objectionable, but that's not a sufficient reason to do it. So it very clearly says, hey, if you got a noise problem, that's your problem. You got to figure that out somewhere else, but you can't take this ground off here, because that ground exists for really one reason and one reason only. That's the equipment safety ground. And since the inception of my Facebook account, I haven't changed this, mostly because I'm lazy, but on my Facebook, it says, it's like the About You thing or whatever. I don't know, I never changed it. I said the secret, electricity will always take the shortest path to ground. And the secret to a long and happy life is to never be the shortest path to ground. So if we have that equipment safety ground in place, we have a low resistance path for that current to go to ground where it wants to go, and that doesn't involve going through you. When you take that ground away, you might now be the shortest path to ground, or the easiest path to ground is maybe a better way to say it, and that doesn't usually end well. So yeah, it's not a good idea inside. It's not a good idea outside. I mean, it's not like Dr. Seuss. It's not a good idea anywhere, anytime, anyhow, right?
Exactly.
So
Neither here nor there. You don't. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. We should write. Too bad I'm not wittier and quicker. I could whip this out, but I can't. So.
Or we had sock puppets. If we'd have sock puppets, that would have been awesome.
All right. So next show, Whittier and sock puppets.
So let's talk a little bit about generators, because you have, with some of the big events you do, you guys bring in the big diesel generators and are utilizing this huge amount of power coming from a portable device like that. How does the use of a generator change a person's GFI needs or ground needs or anything to that effect?
Well, it's funny. I just took a picture of a generator not that long ago. So I'm scrolling through my photos to find it, and I want to be real careful. I know that this is a free show, and obviously I'm not paid to do this, and my insurance company probably doesn't know I am. So if I seem like I'm being cagey or somewhat evasive, I probably am. Because I'm not the world's foremost authority on outdoor safety, and you should consult those. And I really don't want anything that we say or don't say here to come back and haunt you or I, John, to be blunt. So let me just pull up this picture of a generator, and so this was a recent show that we were doing. And you can see, these are feeder tails tied in here, and this is a 3-phase circuit. But what I want to call your attention to, can you see down to the bottom of the screen? Do you have an ad or anything covering that?
Just a sec. I'm gonna just put a new window and bring it over. There we go. We can see that one that has a nice little green wrapping.
Yeah, so that's our ground right there. And what I want to bring your attention to is right next to it, this copper wire right here.
Yes.
That connects this generator to a ground rod. And so in accordance with code, this generator is grounded, and that is something that, and again, I'm on the stage all the time, and I'm touching a mixing console, which is powered by the generator. I mean, I'm selfishly concerned for my own safety, right? I don't want to do anything that's going to put me in harm's way either. So I'm very adamant about making sure the generators are bonded and grounded. And you know, if I get there and I see that the ground log isn't connected, you know, I'll say, hey, we got to get this thing grounded. You know, I'm not using it. Which it's interesting. We do a like a city festival street thing, whatever. You know, they bring in bands once a year and block off some streets, and you know, we quadruple the town's population for a couple days, and uh, they actually tie us to a fire hydrant there, the ground. And you know, there was two or three electricians and myself. Of course, you know, I have a Minnesota electrical license, and we were all talking about the you know, benefits of that. I'm like, you really can't beat that ground. You know, I mean, a ground is defined, if I remember correctly, in the National Electric Code is, you know, basically moist earth, right? You know, and well, you can't beat an iron pipe going that holds water. You know, I mean, you know, it's a fire hydrant. It's about the best ground you could probably get. So. You know, and then there's other things that we look for. You know, I look for my voltage potential between ground and my neutral, which should be my grounded conductor. And we don't call the ground a conductor because it's not part of the conductive cycle. It's not part of the normal current carrying members. It's there only in case of safety, like we talked about. So you shouldn't normally have flow to ground. But anyway, so I'll check the voltage potential between neutral and ground, and you know, make sure that everything is as it should be. You know, so.
And that level of stuff is probably something we as a DJ, that's probably beyond our pay scale type of a situation, because we're first off not dealing with three phase.
It's the same in single phase though. You know, you could if you go to your outlet right now, and I agree and disagree with that all at once.
Okay.
I think it depends on your. You know, I've come to accept. I've been teaching DJs now, John. I don't know what you would probably remember better than me. 25 years or so.
Yeah, we've been in this game a few. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, between I think, you know, my early seminars for local groups, of which you were a part of, and you know, that of course branched out into the national and the international scene, and then you know, writing and whatever. But I think going back for more than 2 decades, you know, I've been talking to DJs about things, and I've come to accept, I've come to realize that most DJs didn't become DJs because they wanted to do more math, right? You know, they didn't want to get more into the tech nerdy things. And I've also come to accept that most of the people who come to my seminars don't really want to be there. You know, it's sort of a necessary thing where they finally drag themselves in. It's like, oh, I guess we have to listen to what this guy has to say because it's going to give us a competitive edge. We can produce, you know, a better show, better sound, you know, better experience.
Well,
you know, whatever.
I think there's in a room that Ben Stowe is speaking to, there is the group of people who are dragging themselves in because they know that this medicine's good for them, and they got it. They're basically
the 99%, yeah.
And then there's there's a contingency of people who are just Ben Stowe fans. They have no idea what you're saying. This is the Big Daddy corner. No idea.
Yes, I was just thinking of Big Daddy was the first name that popped in my head. And Betty Jean also, and Liz Daly. Honestly, love you, Liz. So you know, I don't think she even cares that I called her out here, but they're the people, right?
Yeah. So you've got a variety of different people in that room and such, but yeah, you've been.
I think it was Betty Jean. I don't know if I'm saying this wrong, and of course we're saying it to thousands of our closest friends, but. So Big Daddy, it might have been you too. I don't know. I love you, Big Daddy, but. I think it was Betty Jean who said, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I could listen to you for hours. So I don't even know what to make of that. I don't even know what to do with that. Like, okay.
Yeah, is that good or bad? I'm not sure.
Yeah, because, you know, really my goal, my mission is to transfer the knowledge to the attendee. It's not to go up there and put on a show. It's not to go up there and, you know, hey, look how smart I am, you know, but it's really that I want people to leave I want them to leave better. I want them to leave having invested that time in a way that is beneficial to them, right? You know, so, but I guess if just the entertainment value of it is what's beneficial to her, then that's fine. I can get along with that, you know. But anyway, that time, I've come to learn that not everybody wants to.
There's one more group of people in that room, by the way. We didn't.
Oh, there is. Okay, yeah.
That third group of people is the people back there who just went and got themselves a brand new can of Pepsi, and they're wanting to have a drink every time you say it depends.
It depends. Bottoms up.
Yep,
yeah.
So there. That's
I think there's a fourth group, and I got to get back on track. But I think there's a fourth group, and I love the fourth group too, because many of them have become, you know, really good friends. But they are other nerds who come in to see if I'm, you know, full of shit or not.
Yeah,
basically, to
literally.
be
Yep.
blunt, you know.
I've run into those people, and they're the ones who are like, he really is like that. I mean,
You know, I remember one guy, this is out on the East Coast. I was doing a little miniature tour, a couple of cities of speaking, and this guy was talking crap all week to anybody that would listen. He was telling people, you know, he didn't even know me. And he was telling people, he's like, you know, Ben can't even spell DMX, blah, 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 you know, whatever. And I'm like, you know, it's sort of like, that's when the nerd gloves come off. You're like, all right, come at me, bro. You know, like, what do you got? Like, you know, but I think that's what really is happening here is these are really smart people who only respect other really smart people, and they want to know, are you an imposter? Are you for real?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you know, another dear friend of ours, you know, Drax, you know, I don't think he was quite that person, but he was definitely a heckler. He heckled me a few times in presentations until, you know, I kind of dropped the gauntlet. And then it was like, all right, because, you know, he used to build stuff for NASA, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
he's the real deal.
he's a
He used to
laser
build,
he's a laser technician. This guy
I
knows
mean, yeah,
stuff.
some of his stuff is in orbit. So, like, you know, you can't really take offense to that. You just have to, you know, sort of meet them at their level. I'm like,
But
I'll trade punches with you if you want. Nerd punches, you know, like knowledge punches. But, you know, and you know, Chris Drax and I've become dear friends, and I love the man.
Well, I
So,
think
you know,
a lot of that, though, the reason that the tonality changed on that is that time, you know, at that one show where you put the thing on Bill Herman and zapped him just to show, you know, you could.
yeah, it's like, just got to let people know I'm serious.
Yeah, this is
Like,
serious. You want to talk?
I will hurt you.
We got voltage coming through this helmet there, buddy.
That's right. I'm not above using electricity to make a point. You know, and you know, and I'll tell you what, there was one DJ that I spoke to the day of my daughter's wedding, other than the one who was performing that day, and it was Bill Herman. And you know, I know you and Bill are good friends, but I think that just, you know, he called me just to see how, as father of bride, just to see how I was doing, and I think that so I still don't feel bad for zapping him. I'm not saying that. But you know, I just think it's just the quality of human being that he is. You know, he's just an extraordinary guy, and you know, he just really wanted to in every way, you know, help as he could. And I was trying really hard to not think about industry things that day. And there was a post that went on Facebook about that. The DJ that performed that day did a great job. You know, but you know, he was kind of looking for, I think he said it really well in the post that he made. He was looking for the stamp of approval from me for the affirmation. And I said, not today. I'm not working today. You know, let me just have this one day.
Yeah.
I just want to be the father of the bride. I want to be emotional, and I want to be joyous. And I just don't want to think about sound or work. And he said, well, surely you must have noticed something. And I said, no, listen, just not today. Okay. And then he says, oh, I get it now. You know, it was great. It was really good. I thought more of our industry needs to think about that side of it, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not about you side of it. And as a DJ, I was absolutely guilty of that. You know, I was the performer. I'm the guy. It's the Ben show. No, it's not. No, it is not.
And I don't think you really get that until you've been on the other side.
Yeah, it took me. Well, I'm you know, many years retired as a DJ, so I guess it's too little, too late for me. So
Yeah,
you know,
it
but I'm
really-
trying to share that with others, and you, same story, right? You know,
Very much so.
you know, we can share that wisdom. And speaking of wisdom, I should probably circle back to the point I was making about multimeters, which is to say that no, not everybody is going to do that, but I don't think it's above anybody. I think that as long as you follow some basic safety protocols, like don't touch the metal part with your fingers, I would encourage everybody to get comfortable with a multimeter, and I would encourage everybody to test their outlets. I would encourage everybody, we've done other shows on this, have a little, you know, 3-prong outlet tester, get a multimeter. I think, you know, it's only new the first time, and it gets easier every time you do it, right? So yeah, John, I think the burning question that most DJs ask me, though, when I talk about this in presentations is they say, well, what do I do if it doesn't pass? That's a good question, because you're not an electrician. You're not going to just fix it, right? So now you're faced with some hard choices there. I think don't use it as one, and you know, it's sort of like, is putting your head in the sand and pretending you don't have a problem better than acknowledging that you do? I guess I'd rather know, you know, I'd rather deal with the what if, or not the what if. I'd rather deal with the what is than the what if,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
You
You
know,
may have a chance to be able to do something. The other way, when you have to do something, then it could be catastrophic.
yeah,
for sure.
agreed.
Ben, let's kind of wrap up on the topic of battery gear when it comes to electricity. You know, we've been talking grounding, GFIs, and different things. Well, you know, our Everse speakers, we can run those out. We can run our laptop, and as we just heard from Kyle, we can power our wireless microphone. So technically, we can be completely battery powered when it comes to doing ceremonies specifically. There's no grounds. How can we protect ourselves, or what's our thoughts with that?
Well, we're shifting to a bit of electrical engineering here, but I would say, and again, knowing that some lawyer might watch this, right? I'm not going to say that anything is 100% safe, but I will say that a battery powered system is inherently more safe. And part of the reason is the current capability. The amount of power it can deliver is greatly diminished, and it's more of a closed system. That is not to say that you cannot get zapped by a battery system. You definitely can. They can cause substantial damage. They can create fires, and there's all kinds of things, right? We live in a world where we have to think about that. But of course, it does solve a lot of problems, not the least of which being just simply things like voltage drop if we have to run really, really long cords. And of course, the more we run our cords, the more risk we run where, a connection is damaged or a cord is damaged or even somebody trips, So yeah, there's some real advantages to going with battery, speed, portability, I think an inherent level of safety. There are definitely some advantages there too. So.
Excellent.
But always, 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 always read the manual, follow the directions, read safety guides and protocols. And coming from a guy who's actually written the user's manual, and I'll tell you, that is the worst experience, because I've done a lot of things in my life, but I think there are fewer things I've done that felt more hopeless or fruitless than writing a user's manual, because I said, nobody's going to ever read this. I am wasting my entire weekend and nobody's ever going to read this. So please, for the sake of guys like me, I know manuals aren't a fun read, but there's some good stuff in there. And always follow those safety directions. Use listed equipment. Just common sense is going to save the day 99% of the time.
Excellent. Good. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
And again, if you caught the first part of the show, if you're looking for some gear and such you've heard about at AC, you can go to the NLFX Pro website to find the phone number and give them a call. Pricing on anything that's at Atlantic City is they can't put the pricing on the website, but if you give them a call up at the office, they can get you connected with some show pricing and such for the different things you've been hearing.
They did some giveaways too. They're giving away a bunch of stuff, and that got me thinking.
That's right. I saw something about that.
Kyle just told me tonight, as I mentioned earlier, that Kat apparently has an NSFW nickname for me saved in her phone as a contact. So, which I can only imagine. So, you know what? DM me with suggestions on what I should change Kat's to. So, I want to know what should I change Kat's contact in my phone to. So message me and let me know. I would say comment, but I'm afraid it won't be commented. Exactly. Just send it privately.
Send it private to
I want to. John's channel is going to get banned here,
one of the comments here, Storm says that sadly reads all the manuals and saves them. Nice.
We just hired a couple more technicians, and they're extraordinarily smart people, with great backgrounds in education and all that sort of thing. But I was just telling one of them, I said, you won't believe how many manuals you're going to read in this job, and it was really fascinating. We're on this very large install site, new performing arts center. And, we walk into the control booth and there's an electrician in there with the user's manual open for the light he's installing. And it's like, it's like all day long, all we do is read manuals.
Radio Shack, he's got the manual from his first Radio Shack mixer.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a collector. That would be, that's
thanks for watching, and thanks for reading the manuals, buddy. Appreciate you.
Good stuff. I'm not sure with tonight in a chill room if they're just going to be hanging out at djntv.com/chill, because a lot of the crew are in Atlantic City tonight and hanging out there. So if you guys just want to go and hang out, you're more than welcome to. The DJNTV chill room will be open, and if a couple of you are in there, I'll be popping over in a little bit to turn the recording on, or to get the recording to someone. So if you guys want to go hang out there and do some stuff, you're more than welcome to. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with our last pre-Labor Day show, and then after that we'll be getting into our fall season once again.
Is that when I can wear white again? Is that what that happens?
Yeah, that's when you wear white. For some reason, you're just kind of backwards. I think it's a snow thing. You like to blend in.
Camouflage. Yeah.
Camouflage.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
everyone,
I knew it was something like that.
something like that.
You know what? I wear black year round. I mean, that's
Exactly. We're in the entertainment world, and so it's always black. It's like, oh, what are you wearing today? Oh, a black T-shirt. Yeah. But then again, you don't have to spend much time thinking about what you're going to wear today. Just grab it.
it's pretty easy.
Easy, quick and easy. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.